Well, I've arrived at my location. It is just before sunup. I last birded 5 days ago. I think it was during the peak of fall migration. I saw and photographed a lot of warblers. It was awesome. So here I am 5 days later. I have arrived to discover there are hunters everywhere in these woods. I couldn't park where I normally park. And I must say, if you're out and about when there are hunters, be very careful. That said, I am hoping to see and photograph more warblers. I'm shooting in aperture priority with auto ISO. I've got my aperture opened all the way up to 6.3. I always stay at 600 millimeters unless I can't. And my minimum shutter speed is set at 1/250th of a second. I will, of course, increase that as we get more light, and those are my settings. I hope to photograph some masterpieces.
At this point early in the outing, I'm wondering, where are all the warblers? I don't see much activity, and 5 days ago, I had already photographed several warblers by now, and so, yeah, inside, I'm worried.
It's a little bit lighter, and so right now I am just going to explore both sides of the road. Over here I've got some open area, some larger bushes in the back, some small trees, and over here I have a bush and tree line, and I'm simply looking for activity. I'm listening for warblers, and hopefully I'll spot some movement and be able to get some shots.
Yes, I am absolutely worried, but the advice I just gave is what I follow all the time, even when it's very active. Soon, I did come across 2 species of warblers.
So far, I've photographed yellow rump warblers and a Tennessee warbler right over there.
Yellow rump warblers are the only warbler species primarily that can winter in Ohio. They don't always. These yellow rumps were checking out spider webs, investigating leaves, looking for a meal. I was very happy to get these photos, but folks, they were only there for seconds and then they were gone. And then I came across, or rather stumbled across, this little Tennessee warbler looking for a meal in the bushes. It was gorgeous. This is my favorite photo. After a long while, I was very happy to find and misidentify another warbler.
I think I just got some great shots of another Tennessee warbler.
Folks, it is so easy to misidentify warblers in the fall when they're looking very drab. As you can tell by this comparison photo, Tennessee warblers don't have wing bars. This is absolutely an immature, non-breeding, bay-breasted warbler. Okay, let's continue.
Feeding on top of a bush right over there.
With the number of warblers being so sparse, I was surprised to come across this bay-breasted warbler. I was standing pretty close to it, and it did not seem to be disturbed. It was diving into those morning dew-soaked leaves, looking for a meal, and coming up looking very wet. This was probably my best shot. And as for me, I need to go home, hit the books, study up, come back, and show thyself approved.
I just spoke to a hunter who came out of the woods with a bow. It's deer season. That answers that question. And right up there, I think I just got a decent shot of a magnolia warbler.
This magnolia warbler landed in the tree as you see it in this photo, and it only stuck around for maybe 2 or 3 seconds. I fumbled, I got my camera up, I got the shot, and then it was gone. Folks, I'm about to share my frustration.
During my last outing, fall migration was at its height, and during that outing, I saw warblers everywhere. I saw little forms moving in the trees, moving in the brush lines, and they were everywhere. I simply waited for one to come out into the open, and I got the shot. I didn't worry if I got some bad shots because I got so many great shots. Today,
here it comes.
The trees and bushes right now, they're empty. I see zero warbler activity. And the pressure is greater because I feel now, because I'm seeing much less, I feel like every shot has got to be the best shot it can be because it might be the last. Yeah, it's a pressure cooker. It's not the piece of cake it was just 5 days ago.
And that's the cold, hard reality many of us are dealing with right now. Many warblers, like this female black-throated blue, landed and quickly disappeared. I didn't even have time to identify them in the field. This female American redstart landed in the tree. I got this shot, and then it was just gone. Time passed, and I was grateful when I finally found another warbler.
I was walking along, and there was no activity, and then all of a sudden, right over there, I saw another magnolia warbler, and I got some shots. But I must say, before I show you the photos, fall migration, when those warblers move through over that period of time, that can really spoil a birder, and I admit it, I got spoiled. Here's the magnolia warbler.
Humor is good for the soul. I got these shots of this little magnolia warbler, and then there was nothing for a long time. Finally, I did find one more warbler.
Up in this tree, I just photographed a palm warbler. It's the first one I've seen since spring.
Have you experienced this? You spot a bird and, yeah, a car goes by, a bicyclist rides by, a jogger runs by, a person walking dog stops and wants to talk, and in that moment, the bird you saw flew away. I hope my little warbler was still up in that tree. Thankfully it was. I waited until it came out into the open, and then with great relief, I got these shots of a palm warbler. It didn't look nearly as drab as you might think it would this time of year. My heart sputtered a bit when it flew to another branch, but then it stopped and shot me this look. And then, folks, it was gone. However, I was just so relieved it didn't fly away. What a great moment.
I must say this has been a tough but enjoyable outing. It was much easier 5 days ago when fall migration was at its peak. I've been focusing solely on warblers for several weeks. I gotta start showing the other birds some attention. We'll see you next time.